Hello there, Algebra 2B, and welcome to our practice final. I'm going to be going over some things here and highlighting some things that you should especially have on your note cards. First example here, first question is factoring. So you should remember how to factor. So we're looking at factors of 12 that add to -7. So this answer would be x minus 4 and x minus 3. Remember, in the calculator, if you need to find factors, you just go under y equals, you do 12 divided by x, and go to the table, and that lists all the factors. So y equals 12 divided by x. You do need to be careful, since we have a positive, we need both those to be negative in order to add to a negative, but multiply to a positive. For letter B, this one here, you need to remove a greatest common factor first. So they each share a 4x squared. That's going to leave you with this here. From there, then, you are looking at factors of 28. So 28 is 7 and 4. Somehow we need those to add to -3. So a -7 and a positive 4 will get us there. So there's your answer for that bit. We have a difference of squares. So you should recognize differences of squares. That should be an easy factoring combination. If you're not sure, again, you could do 36 divided by x and determine 6 and 6 would add to negative. Another way to think of it is x squared minus 0x minus 36. Well, the factors would be -6 and positive 6. Okay, and letter D, that's just factoring by grouping. Might be a bonus opportunity for you. You want to remove the greatest common factor out of the first pair. And you want to remove the greatest common factor out of the second pair. Actually, a 5. And what you'll notice happens is this x squared and the 5, they are going to become one factor. And the other factor in parentheses will be the other portion there. So possible bonus opportunity for that type of question. Maybe something you want to write on down. Big thing with these is when you are solving using square roots, don't forget plus or minus. So plus or minus the square root of 49. You want to try that out in your calculator. Square root 49 is 7, but you do need to have plus or minus. So definitely for numbers like this, I would highlight plus or minus. Don't forget it. For letter B, what you want to do is before square rooting, you want to add the 63 over. Add the 63. So set it equal to 0. Then you can take care of the plus or minus root of 63. And we have an extra little thing. You want to reduce those radicals. So we, in this case, go in and put 63 divided by x squared. And that's how we can easily reduce radicals. And we're finding our pair. So that's going to be plus or minus 3 roots of 7. So for reducing radicals, that's y equals our number 63 over x squared. A little different than factors, but that's the idea with those. Letter C here, we actually can square root first. So we're dealing with the square root plus or minus of 72. And we're going to break up that 72. So 72 divided by x squared. In the table, and the biggest pair we have is 6 and 2, so it's plus or minus 6 roots of 2. We have equals x plus 6. Almost there, we're just going to subtract the 6 away, and it actually is its own little thing. So the 6, notice, is actually out front there. So pay attention to that. Maybe have that example written down. I think that would be helpful for your notes. For your note cards, have something like that written down for you. Also, what you need to write down is quadratic equation. So you should be watching this, and you should definitely have the quadratic equation down. negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Writing that down, remember, you have to be set equal to 0. A is going to be 1, B is going to be 4, C is going to be 3, and you just plug those in. So we're dealing with negative 4, plus or minus square root 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3 all over 2 times 1. And that's going to be negative 4 plus or minus square root. Remember, this entire thing you want to put into the calculator without the square root. So without the square root, we're looking at 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3. And that's going to be, what do you know, a 4. Okay, so all over 2. Now, if that reduces, you want to keep going. So we have negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2, all over 2. And we can keep going from there. We have negative 4 plus 2 over 2. And we have negative 4 minus 2 over 2. So we have some different options. Negative 4 plus 2 is going to be negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. And negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. So those are the two answers for that particular problem. Okay. The other formulas you need for exponential growth and decay, make sure these are something you've written down. So once again, more formulas. You only need these first two, so don't worry about that last one for the time being. This is going to be growth, and this is decay. Now remember a few things. A is the initial number, so 1970, 85,000 black rhinos. So 85,000 black rhinos. The number of black rhinos decreased. If we're dealing with decreased, that's going to be decay, decreased and decay. So we're looking at 1 minus, and 14.5 is going to be 0.145. And to the t. So that's our equation. Now it wants to know 22 years later, what's the population? Well, we're just going to put 22 in there for our t, 1 minus 0.145 to the 22. And that right there will be our population. And that leaves about 2,708. 0.15. If you want to round, can't have 0.15 of a rhino, you can do that. Please put units. Okay, so there's page 1. We'll continue on page 2. But please have those things, at least, the purple things, written on down in your note card.